Amazon have planned a 1-hour drone delivery. We've talked about this on the pod a couple of times over the years, but now it's starting to really happen. So the online retail giant will launch the concept in the United Kingdom at the end of 2024. And currently Amazon are great because you can, you've got Prime, you click a button and then boom, the next day it's there, or even the same day in many situations. But imagine 1 hour. Imagine that'd be amazing, clicking a button and then an hour, not just for the convenience of having toilet paper or food or whatever. Imagine medical supplies or there's so many use cases here where this could benefit society. What are your takes on this? You were kind of involved. I don't know how much you can say, Nick, but give us your perspective as a former insider.
So Amazon, everything we do at Amazon, we used to do at Amazon. I moved out of Amazon about 2 years ago. Customer obsession is the heart and soul of everything that Amazon does, right? Every initiative is planned first and foremost for the customers. So just as you said, Alfie, I think there's just so much goodness here. Medical supplies, things you need at the last minute. It's amazing what Amazon is trying to do. And I don't know how much people have read about the articles yet, but Amazon is doing that in US already, I believe, at least in two cities. Yeah. And they're launching in UK. Now, I was a part of this pilot program back when I was at Amazon, and my part of my house was used with the drones to map the algorithms which the drones would use to find the right spots for drops. So I've been a part of this program. I think it's fairly interesting, fairly exciting, lots of goodness for customers. Equally though, just back on the topic of what we were discussing, how viable would it be given the laws in the United Kingdom, and how practical would this be for Amazon to pull it off? I think that's something interesting we would watch. But as far as the customer value proposition of this initiative goes, I think it's a game changer. Yeah, it's a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, it could have even a bigger impact than Prime did, really, in terms of the benefit this could bring the customers. And you're right, customer obsession is what Jeff Bezos cares about. That and the cowboy hat. I don't know if you've seen this meme that's going around. But, we'll show a picture of that on the screen right now. But
it's triggered something in you, that cowboy hat.
I don't know, I love it. It's like billionaire, jacked cowboy, perfect. We talked about drones when you were last on the podcast. What's your take on this story, James?
I think it's great. I think it shows, per Nick's comments, the innovation that Amazon still has, the obsession to always get better, right? They already have the most advanced logistics fleet, probably globally. So the fact that they're continuing to innovate and not just say, okay, we'll just rake in the cash, and to improve is, incredibly impressive, and shows that actually the people there and Bezos himself are that obsessed, right? In terms of what it means from a customer, so obviously I buy loads of stuff from Amazon. What's the frustrations with Amazon? Generally it's there next day. So how does the 1 hour thing affect it? I think great, right? So if you get stuff in your hands faster, if I want something and and it's being able to walk to the shop and get it, brilliant. In terms of what the actual kind of aerial drone delivery method means, I think if you think about one of the most core frustrations of van delivery, it's okay, I'm not in, they put it somewhere weird. You're basically reliant on the driver to make that final decision point. Whereas if you're doing it via drone, you're automating that. You're creating an algorithm, you're saying, okay, actually we can decide where the best spot is, or you can say where the best spot is in your house, and the drone will respect that. That's taking a core frustration of the customer journey and making it better. So personally, I think this is fantastic, a great innovation. If it can actually scale, wonderful. I don't know too much about the laws and the regulations in the UK that prohibit this. I know they are, I've seen the US ones, per what Nick said. They are really loud, and obviously
they're really loud.
The UK is a much more dense country than the US is in general. So I think that's a concern. So, how would they manage, the fact that you can't even, Heathrow can't land flights after whatever it is, 11 p.m. So how, if that's their, thousands of feet up. So if a drone's really loud, how are they going to manage that? How are they going to do timings? Questions, but I'm sure stuff that could be resolved.
I have an interesting story about that Heathrow and the flight thing.
Oh yeah?
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was very new to UK, I hadn't moved in here yet. I was visiting on a work trip. And our flight was, I think, 6, 7 a.m. in the morning. So my wife and decided, well, we'll check out the night before and we'll just spend the night at Heathrow shopping. So we came to Heathrow about 11:30, 12:15, only to be told that Heathrow shuts down at night.
Yeah.
Right? So here we are with
Yeah,
our
yeah, yeah.
luggage,
Yeah, yeah.
standing outside Heathrow
No.
going, what the hell? And this was winters. So we spent the night on the pavement outside Heathrow
No.
till about 5, half 5 when Heathrow actually opens and they let you in.
I'm sure your wife loved you, mate. Yeah.
We both said, never again. We're not coming back to UK ever again. And
Yeah.
here we are.
And here we are
So
in London.
we
Yeah.
spent the whole night there sitting outside Heathrow in pouring rain
Yeah.
with our luggage saying, oh no, never expecting an airport like Heathrow to be shut down in the night.
Yeah.
It is
Great point,
crazy.
though. Like Heathrow, just like modelling that for London, I see this being a lot harder to do in
Yeah.
London with all
That's
the
my point, right? Yeah.
skyscrapers, as opposed to I'm from York, right? Very
Yep.
rural area. And your CEO Joe is from Yorkshire as well.
Yeah.
This would work great there, right?
Yeah.
This would be a challenge in London. I think the obsession with getting stuff to the customer and getting the best experience possible is what Jeff really built the company on. I remember watching an interview with him a few years back where he said, look, at Amazon, there's only 3 things that we really, really care about. Quality, speed, and price. Quality, really great products and having a great selection. People are always going to want, great products and a selection of them. Speed, people are always going to want products delivered faster.
Yeah.
You're never going to have somebody say, oh, I wish it took an extra day or two for it to arrive, right? And price, people always want, low cost and you don't want to pay more for something if you can get it cheaper, right? So, this is really just an extension of the speed value that Amazon has, right? What would you say to that, Nick? Because you actually spent a couple of years working there, right? So
Yeah, I was there for a good 4.5 years or so. And everything you said is true, Alfie. Amazon is built on customer obsession. And honestly, you can't do an initiative there which does not give value back to customers. And I can't go into details, but I've actually run programs and initiatives myself where we actually return money to customers. Voluntarily, willingly, without customers knowing this themselves. So Amazon, everything that Amazon does, customer obsession is the heart soul of it. And I love and I miss working at Amazon because of this some days. So I'm absolutely certain that this initiative has been thought first and foremost from the lens of customers, and this will be a hugely interesting thing for customers to have. Now, yes, the problems in London are true. I think the way they are planning for this to work in UK is, to your point, James, you get, as a customer, you have a QR code.
Okay.
You put that QR code where you want the drone to drop the delivery, and the drone will come, scan for that QR code and drop the delivery there.
Yeah.
Now, how you would scale this to blocks of flats or shared living spaces, I think it's a problem to be solved. But yeah, I think for the great number of people who don't have those living arrangements, this could really be a significant boost to their shopping experience with Amazon.
I don't know how much you can say about this, but I've done similar stories like this on the pod before with other competitors, and I've seen everything from the drone going down and dropping off the product in a box, and then people taking it out the box and then it flying away with the box. I've seen it where a bit of string comes down and it has the item attached, and the QR code seems to be like the most common way of doing it. So I guess one thing that I always am a little bit concerned about when it comes to drones is that people in the UK, I guess other countries might be a little bit better than we are at this sort of thing, but if a bunch of teenagers, if I was like 15 and I saw one of these drones, I am slingshotting that thing down. I'm that's mine, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit like, I guess you could make the argument with like Lime scooters and that sort of thing, but do you see that being a problem? Because these are expensive bits of kit, I imagine, right? If it's huge, if it's making a lot of noise, if it's got AR technology to scan stuff, do you think people are going to start stealing these and and knocking them out the sky and stuff? Is that something that you thought about?
I saw the very early prototype of this drone when the studies were being conducted at my house. Right,
Yeah.
This is not your average commoditized drone.
Yeah.
This is a serious machine,
Yeah.
which is equipped with a lot of sensors and a lot of flight guiding technology. I'll just leave it there, to be honest. But this is a serious piece of kit, Alfie. This is a serious drone.
It can be tracked. It can, we
and
will steal it. They're gonna.
It does make a lot of noise, actually. So I share that concern.
Yeah.
It does make a lot of noise, or at least that initial prototype did.
Yeah.
When they were flying it up and down in my garden, I was like, oh my God, this is loud. and one of my neighbors actually came and rang the bell, asking if everything was okay.
Wow.
Because it does sound like a huge machine making a lot of whirring noise, like a mini chopper, if you will. But I'm sure this is what 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they have moved on from them.
Okay.
But this is a serious piece of kit. I wouldn't worry about slingshotting it down.
Okay. What about you? Would you give it a go? Would you try and nick one of these?
Considering where I grew up, there was definitely some dodgy parts. I could see people trying, right? I suppose, like, look, I haven't seen the UK prototype ones. I've only seen the US ones, and they were huge.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, I'm going to go on Nick's first-hand evidence to say this is a serious piece of kit, hard to steal. Will that stop people trying to do stuff? I would say no. Like, per your example of like the Lime bikes and all those and the scooters, like they get vandalized and destroyed all the time. Now that's obviously a much more simple machine. I think people will try. I think Amazon will probably, maybe if they have problem areas, like really dense urban areas where they always have issues with this, they'll just say, we're not going to do that, and actually we'll stick to delivering to, the shires, so to say, and that will be a better model for them.
Yeah.
Because that's probably their biggest cost center for logistics anyway, probably. But yeah.
Okay.